traction on brakes, but as soon as you get into the gas of that supercharger, it's enough power just to get the required ass to shift. Oh God. Okay, let's not do that. Woo! All right, man. Andy, what's up?
How's it going, Mike?
Tell me how you, like, what's the story with this?
So a little over a year ago, I had gotten rid of my previous FZJ80. It was a 94, very similar in build without some of the modifications this one had, and thought I could get by without having something to tinker on, and that lasted all of 4 months. All of us who are watching this are Facebook Marketplace fans. I saw this pop up in Northern California and said, hell, I'm gonna go give it a rip. So what we're looking at is a 97 FZJ80. That's right around 340,000 miles on it. Since I've had it, I've gone through and kind of added my own creature comforts to make it more my style. That list kind of starts with the underside of the vehicle. I went ahead and did the Sumo Gear part-time transfer case setup with the underdrive gear pack in it and the 3-to-1 transfer case gears. At that same time, I went ahead and added the tires and wheels, which are Method 305s with Apex rapid air deflators installed in them. And the tires are the Milestar Patagonia MTs 3712 517s. So I had a pretty good baseline with that first iterative step. I next needed to go with a lift. So what I did is I went with a 4-inch coil and 4-inch shock lift by Dobinson. That's correct. And then all of us have come to a place where we've ran the front tires into the wheel well. I didn't like that. So I also added Delta Vehicle Systems bump stop mounts with the Icon Hydro bump stops in the front end. And that was kind of the first pass that I made in making it my own.
We got to pop the hood.
Let's do it.
This is where the magic is on this. I mean, there's lots of magical moments in this.
So the hood was done already. You can see it's got a hood scoop on it that is designed to go with this air intake cooler. Not sure how well it works, but I think it's pretty effective in keeping some of those air intake temperatures down. But this is what it looked like when I got it with regard to the motor. So what was appealing to me was the supercharger. It's got a long range tank installed. It's got nitro chromoly axles front and rear, and just the bones were really, really good with this rig. What I've done since I've had it in the engine bay is I installed a Torfab diesel air box to get some more air moving through it, and then a Radius Fab snorkel directly from Australia to help get some of that air coming through it a little bit easier. Good modification. It's a fun one to do if you have got a good long weekend, but it's been a fun one.
And you notice differences in this too, right?
Yeah, so I still have to do a relocation bracket on the windshield washer fluid. I have that ready to be installed. I'll probably do that this week. Again, shout out to Delta Vehicle Systems for their products and how they manufacture such quality product for these 80 series. But I'll get that installed. All of the silicone tubing is basically custom with regard to getting it to fit in there. It's also really tall, so it's hard to work on. So that's a lot of fun. But with these superchargers, the engines do get warm, so I also added an orange hub assembly from LandTank to really utilize the right equipment to keep temperatures down. That orange hub assembly has the right oil viscosity to get that fan spinning sooner than a stock blue fan assembly or a blue fan assembly.
Aftermarket radiator, obviously.
Yeah, Ron Davis aluminum radiator. It's got 2 pushers in the front to help keep those temperatures down as well. On the front end, I did pull off a ARB that was on there originally and installed a Binks Fab custom bumper to the front end. Shout out to Bink Hurry and the work that he does. We went ahead and added some Baja Design Squadron Pros in the front, as well as an Onyx bar assembly underneath the winch itself. I had Bink add the bar tubing to the front to help reduce some of the potential issues that can pop up living in Utah and having livestock jump out in front of you and hit them on the road. So really happy with that. Added the JDM clear lenses up front to give it a kind of its own look on the front end, and inside there we do have the appropriate colored LED lights to make sure I'm compliant properly.
What's this?
That is a Land Rover vent assembly that the previous owner had installed.
It even comes with a supercharged on it?
It says supercharged on it from Land Rover. Although it's not my favorite look, I think it's a really important thing to note that with these superchargers, they run hot and we got to get that hot air out of there. So I'm confident, and that's why they put those in there as opposed to putting some vents on the roof.
That's a Subaru cowl too?
I believe it's a Subaru cowl. That's Subaru cowl, yes.
That looks really big for Subaru. Maybe that is Subaru though. Interesting.
Yeah.
And then this snorkel, it has a reverse vent, and that's because Australia, the outback,
Yeah.
the dust, because that every other snorkel like ARB has it, or Safari has it towards
Point
the
it
front.
to the front, and then a lot of people do the pre-cleaners on there as well. With it pointing backward, for me, it just felt like kind of takes the risk out of any problem coming from the front going into the intake itself.
Let's talk lighting. You have some good lighting on this.
Yeah, I went with Baja Designs kind of around the entirety of the vehicle. We already went through the bumper. I also added lights, ditch lights on either side of the side view mirrors. Those brackets are provided by Solve Function. Anyone who's got an 80 should also have Solve Function products on there. He's always coming up with good things to help make it a more enjoyable ride in totality. On the top, I did install a Delta Vehicle Systems roof rack assembly and added, at Dave, the owner of Delta Vehicle Systems, recommendation, the yellow lights up top to help cut through the dust.
And then up front, you have Baja Design fogs.
That's right, and they're on a factory Toyota switch, so that's pretty fun and convenient. And although they do point down, I do get headlights flashed at me when I have them on.
Perfect setup. You don't have rock lights, right?
No rock lights. I do have a switch pre-wired for rock lights. Probably go with some KC Cyclones for that application.
This rack is sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I did add some additional support beams in there in anticipation of putting a rooftop tent and getting out and enjoying the backcountry with my kids and my family.
All aluminum?
All aluminum, super lightweight, but extremely strong.
Oh man, Delta makes some good stuff. Is this just a factory clip-in? There's no mounting hardware required?
No, so these are the mounts that come with the roof rack, and it basically sits on that rain gutter seam, that factory rain gutter, and the edge of this aluminum drops right in between it. Yeah, so it's really clean. It's probably the roof rack that has been the quietest after I've installed it, so I'm really happy with it.
Let's talk about this rear end. You want to crack this thing open?
Yeah, so on the back we have a Kmart dual swing bumper system.
All steel, it looks like.
All steel, very stout. It's taken some hits while off-roading, and it keeps on doing its job. It adheres to the body lines really well. Feels like most of the Australian products do.
I like this dual can side-by-side setup.
I do as well. I also have a mount for a high lift that goes on the back, but working through getting some additional pieces modified to be able to have that on there all the way.
This telescopic light is pretty cool. This is old school.
Yeah, 1990s iteration, I'm pretty sure. Haven't wired that sucker up yet, so if anyone's got any tips, let me know. Always looking at different products. I think I'll probably go with the Delta Vehicle System tailgate storage, as well as the Delta Vehicle System rear bumper when that time comes.
There's like a few inches of storage
inside here. That's right. And in the interim, I keep the majority of my recovery gear in this bag, as well as an air bottle to air up all the tires when I'm coming from off-road and getting back onto on-road. And that's really easy to do with an EasyFlate rapid system as well.
I love these kind of setups, man. The thing about these intricate back-end camp kitchen setups is, one, they're permanent.
Yep.
They're locked in.
Yep.
And so if you have some kind of recreational venture, you really are limited in the space, and then also the weight.
Yeah, it gets heavy back here, right? And then you've got to get stronger springs in the rear than in the front. It takes a little bit of guesswork to get it riding just right.
Yeah, this is a good setup. Rubbermaid. I like the Rubbermaid look. This is Cobalt.
This is Cobalt, yeah. I've got a Yankum rope in there, some Yankum soft shackles, and then inside this side panel, the previous owner did do a 12-volt setup where you can go ahead and run standard 110 receptacle and power things like a refrigerator or something else down the road.
Dude, he has a lot of love invested in this thing.
Yeah, he does.
And he just sold it?
The story that I heard was that this was owned by somebody else who was making a lot of money in growing things in California. And so he wanted to build something really cool. Just kept throwing money at it. And then he needed to leave for a number of reasons, but he needed to leave. He left it behind, and the guy he left it with paid next to nothing for it, and it just sat there. So he's like, it's been here for 5 years. Let's get rid of it.
Dude, that's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
So as I was cleaning it out, I did find some paraphernalia, which was interesting, but I might try to get some factory white flares and retrofit them onto this vehicle itself.
Need a hood. If you got a hood, let me know.
The back seat's in really good. I mean, all of the back seats tend to be in good shape. Between the Japanese Auto Salvage and ARD here in Camas, you can find replacement pieces for this vehicle pretty easily. We've got Slee rock sliders, good company, quality products. The radius arms, so I went with the 6-inch radius arms by Delta Vehicle Systems, as well as the Panhard relocation bracket for the rear. These suckers get a little squirrely when you lift them, and that relocation bracket helps create some more stability so that it stays true on the road.
All right, let's get into this, because this is where the Cockpit has taken some upgrades.
Yeah.
These seats weren't in it last time I saw you.
No. So again, like, I like the look of a stock 80 series, but I also want some of the creature comforts of having a newer vehicle. I did a set of BMW seats in my last 80 and really was quite happy with them. And these popped up on Marketplace and I grabbed them, and with a planted seat bracket, customized them to fit into the 80 series, and I'm very, very happy. They're super comfortable. I'm not a small guy. I'm 6'3", 225 pounds, and I feel like I could drive in these all day long.
This thing's taller than last time, right? Because you added the springs.
That's right. So again, Facebook Marketplace with the win. I found these foils online and went from a 3.5-inch Old Man Emu to these new to me 4-inch Dobinson coils.
Triple locked.
Triple locked. Yep. And again, part-time transfer case configuration. So I've got
that means you can run 2-wheel drive, or can you disconnect?
So right now when I'm driving down the road, it's just rear wheels only. Yeah. So these all come factory all-wheel drive.
Yeah. That's a good setup, man.
I like it.
This thing right here is insane. I haven't really seen a lot of Delta stuff in FCJ 80s, and this is really robust. Is this one piece?
So it's a 2-piece product line. So you have your console, your center console here, and then you have the modular shift column setup, where you have different options on the faceplate. I had 3 gauges that I wanted to look at, and then I obviously have quite a bit of lighting that I've added. I picked out that configuration. I'm running a oil pressure gauge, water temperature gauge, and a boost gauge. And then I had the 2 rocker switches in the front, and then I wanted to make sure I had plenty of ability to charge things up. The more and more we get into using technology and having iPads and drones and everything, there's never enough power, right? So I made sure we had power there, and then bolted the 2 pieces together, and it's real rigid and real robust and feels like a very good add.
Oh, it reminds me, these are cup holders that are adapted into it, and then you got an extra one right here, right?
Yep, so that's a solve function on the right-hand side. That's also got a little pocket for your cell phone to slide into, so you can...
Oh, right here.
Yeah, you can put a coffee mug in there or whatever, and you have your phone sitting up front.
Let me get this present for you. So I'm working with this company, Vets Tactical. I'll link a discount code for you guys down below, but this is the Alpha 1. It's made for all these models. I can't even say what models they're made for, but you could read. Bam. Let me see if this fits. Oh, dude, it fits perfect. Wedged nice in there. And that's for the, you know what I'm saying? Here's what I'll do. We're gonna do this one. I have a spacer that comes with it that adapts it there. And it's magnet retain right here. So you could have your choo-choo in here. But you're welcome.
That's awesome, thank you.
I think I'm gonna put it right here, because you could put it
kind of canted to one side.
Yeah.
Yep, I like that.
Yeah, so you have ready access. That's the whole point of it. Bam! What is this? Like what?
So the previous owner had a PLX mounted up to where the clock is. A PLX gauge is a multi-point digital gauge system that was popular years and years ago, but it gives you all kinds of data points to read. It gives you your OBD codes that are being pulled. It gives you your air intake temperature, your water temperature, your fuel pressure. It just has a lot of different points of reference that it can look at to give you data on how your motor's running.
Everything was thought about in this rig.
I think so. I mean, I don't think it was ever used fully to its capabilities. If you look down just by the parking brake, you'll see that there's a Mark's 4-wheel drive switching mechanism, where the idea is if you're running street tires and then go off-road, you flip that switch and it'll adjust the gear ratio and give you an accurate reading on your speedometer. Obviously, if you're running stuff and you don't want to get flagged,
now I know what this rig was used
for. You might want to make sure you're staying under the speed limit.
Oh, look, yeah, gunshot.
Oh, come on.
What's this thing right here?
I think that's just part of the radio.
You sure? This ain't a police scanner thing?
Could be a police scanner. This is kind of a fun one too for off-roading. It's got a hand throttle accessory as well, which is kind of cool. Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
So like you basically would push on the accelerator, and then you pull that out, turn it to the right, and it whatever speed you were
So you
going.
could dial your speed with this, like cruise control?
So on cruise control, that usually kicks on right around 30 miles an hour, right?
Yeah.
With this, you can set it to 5 miles an hour, and you don't have
low
to
crawl, or
exactly
do a slow crawl.
Yep.
What? Does it work?
Yeah, it works great.
Dude, this thing is out of control. So I'm gonna get first right of refusal when you sell this, right?
100%.
What you bought it for, because you know.
We'll figure something out, but yeah, this is a good one, and I don't see myself partnering with it anytime soon, but I will absolutely give you first right of refusal.
Dude, this thing is so epic. All right, we gotta take this thing for a ride. Elevation, boy. So pretty. Wow. Cardio. All right, now I'm gonna drive it. See how it handles on snow, dirt, and a little bit of road. Let's check it out. Woo! Hi, triple locked, right?
You just got the rear locker on right now.
A little slippage.
It's just the rear locker right now.
Oh, okay. It's nice.
Not bad.
How's the temps for the supercharger? Not bad.
181. So you can feel the difference with those 3-to-1 gears.
Yeah.
It just wants to stay planted.
Nice.
Like I bet we could probably get out of here in high.
Yeah, oh yeah. I think we'll be good. That first climb was the toughest part of it.
So Mike, what are your thoughts as you're driving? You've had quite a few 80s, right?
Yeah, I'm on my 5th one. Fieldcraft 0-3, and then I own 2, a 97 and a 91. And I'm on my 6th with the 96. But this one just feels more stable, and that supercharger makes a huge difference.
Yeah, when you need it, it's there, right?
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of going to LS, but I also feel like I'm kind of a purist when it comes to certain things like Toyotas, because I know, like, I'm swapping an engine that's good. It's got a lot of power, a lot of torque, for an engine that's like one of the most reliable engines on the planet.
Just bulletproof.
Yeah.
Run forever. Like I said, I'm coming up on 350K. I'm sure the top end's been done at one time, but it's still tight.
Well, everything about this feels tight. It feels together, where most of my FJs, like my last 94, had air lockers in the rear, but just had a lot of issues and bugs that it needed to work out. This one feels like it's dialed. What are the things that you want to upgrade?
I'm a big fan of Delta Vehicle Systems. I like the idea of their body armor for the belly pan, and then really for the rear, probably some Timbren bump stops to keep the tires from running up into the fender wells. And that's kind of it. Just go have some adventures with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be in a lot of vehicles like up here with the snow with that, where if we rolled, we die for sure. But this feels like really grounded, even with just the rear lockers on. And I usually like narrow tires, but I like the fact that we have 12.5s for most of the off-road in America and Utah.
Yeah, and again, we haven't even aired down or anything. Obviously, with it being snow, we want to stay kind of high pressure. But I mean, worst case scenario, if we got into a bad spot, we've got the power with the supercharger. We can air down, and before we get back on the road, we can air back up and call it good.
Yeah.
So I think the 80 series is a great rig for all around.
And it's weird because this one, I'm used to them like swaying all over the place, and this felt like my LC100, my old LC100 that I sold, where it had the, was it KDSS suspension?
And the IFS up front.
IFS up front, so it felt like really controlled. And that's a good point. Like, it doesn't feel like this is a solid front axle.
Yeah.
There's no solid front axles that I've driven that feel like this, and a lot of it has to do with power, suspension options, those arms from Delta that you get.
Yeah, gets the caster in the correct location, and we just go enjoy them. Drive to Moab, go hit some trails, and be totally confident in what you have because of the work you put in the garage.
So I've always been trying to look for the ultimate rig, and the ultimate rig to me is the one that you could drive to Rubicon, do the Rubicon, and then drive home from Utah, you know, like an 8-9 hour drive, or 11 to South Lake. So when you look at all the options, sure, my first gen runner could probably get that done after my 3-link, but it's not going to be as comfortable as this.
Likely not. Yeah.
One of the reasons I hated the LC100, and it's a love-hate relationship, is I was tethered to that system, which is the navigation.
Oh yeah.
That old navigation system. And this one, because how simple it is, you could gut the entire system and put whatever you want in it, right?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, I think you could have an iPad in here that's kind of your control center, and you got your Onyx pulled up, and you have full capabilities of some of these newer rigs from a navigation standpoint, and you can still work on it.
Yeah. And you can't do that in an LC100. The heating system, some of the electronics hooked up to the actual system itself are inside of that system. That's like that Commodore 2000 setup.
Yeah.
And that's what I like, how easy this thing is to work on, but also how swappable and adaptable it is. So rad, man.
Honestly,
I want to get my FCJ80 like this.
And honestly, we're kind of on this precipice with our kids where they don't want to go do stuff, but if you can get them in the garage, this is something that they can help you fix, improve, enhance, and you're making really good memories, and that's kind of dying in this generation.
It is, man.
There isn't wood shop, there isn't metal shop, there isn't auto shop where they get to learn these skills. The only opportunity we have is to go and do it with them, and a vehicle like this allows for things like that to happen.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think you were telling me about how there's always something to work on these vehicles.
Always.
Which makes it fun.
Yeah, always. It is totally fun.
I'm interested to see how this transitions into the road as we get back on the road, and then obviously turn off all the enhanced off-road capability to see how it handles on the road. Let's see. We shall see. Talking about it, but the traction it gets when that torque kicks in from that supercharger is really nice. And these 37s, what are the Patagonias?
Yep, MT2s.
Yeah, they're nice. Like, you'll lose all the traction on brakes, but as soon as you get into the gas or that supercharger, it's enough power just to get the required ass to shift. Oh God. Okay, let's not do that. Woo! I was just bragging about how much traction you had.
I mean, that was pretty solid. We just did a pretty good...
You like that? I knew it was just a little bit overcorrected on the way back. But I saw our out was right here. I was like, oh, it's super flat.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Yeah.
They're so heavy, though. Like, the reality is,
you
could stand and do things like that, make some mistakes.
And also pendulums, it swings pretty hard on the rear end. I'm assuming because the weight.
Yeah, and like you said, once that power transfer happens, it's pretty...
Yeah.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah, then all of a sudden you get like massive amounts of traction in this stuff. It's weird. It feels like a rally car, but you forget you're in a big SUV.
Pretty high center of gravity.
Dude, it's wild. Well, even that, you don't feel any kind of top end body roll. And I assume the stance, I mean, the wide tires, I mean, it's just got a perfect balance of it. Is that the arms?
I don't know. So the arms really focuses on the caster correction on the front end.
I mean, I
can't. The pinion angle's right.
It's got to be those new springs. You could get a little bit of it like right at the pendulum.
Yeah.
But it's pretty hard to.
I mean, Dobinson does great stuff, makes great stuff.
All right, coming from off-road, bam, to on-road. Oh, well, this is kind of slick. Yeah, there's just not a lot of body roll. Feels pretty good. God, I was just like literally looking at the camera, driving, and I'm like, oh my God, because it looks so good in the camera. Like, look at the camera view is like.
It's nuts.
It's like an alternate universe. It's like looking through my eyes. Everything looks so real.
It's like when you're driving a vehicle on a game. Right?
Yeah, look at that.
Your hand.
I mean, I could literally replace this and just be like, oh, wow, it's the same.
Same.
So beautiful. Because of the weight?
Delta Vehicle Systems, they make a really nice kit for these 80 series that allow you to put on a LC200 brake rotor and then made a later model 4Runner caliper and have it fit underneath the 17-inch wheel. That's going to be an upgrade that I absolutely do here shortly. Yeah, I can smell the brakes. We got up to 9,000 feet and we're dropping down to 4,500 in the span of 20 minutes.
All right, man, we did it all. Appreciate you letting me take it for a spin and then fall in love with this thing.
My pleasure. It's always fun getting out with people of like-mindedness to go and experience the great outdoors and cool rigs.
I'll give you $5 right now.
Well, maybe multiple times. That's, again, first rider refusal is yours.
That's so awesome. All right, man. Later, Andy. Later, guys.
See ya.